schools are closed and we still have to learn math? What's up, guys? It's your 4th grade math teacher, Mr. Johnson, aka Mr. J, and we're back at it again with another YouTube video. Except we're not really back at it again because this is the first video. So I know things are a bit different right now, especially with the whole
Coronavirus!
And even though we are all separated from each other, we want to make sure that your education is still continuing and that your math skills aren't getting rusty. Ooh. So every week I'll, in addition to your assigned lessons, I'll be uploading a video covering what we will learn that week. So don't worry, I got you. It'll be just like you never left the classroom at all. That way, when we do return, you won't be all like, OMG, Mr. Johnson, I forgot everything you taught me. So without further ado, go get a pencil and paper, get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee. Well, not really coffee, juice? And sit back, relax, and let's make it do what it do. Woo. Alright, so we are on question 1 for dot plots, and question 1 says, a restaurant manager collected data on the lengths of time customers waited for their food. He represents the data he collected in a dot plot. How many customers waited for 15 minutes for their food? So I know we often like to just jump into the problem, but since we're dealing with a word problem, it's very important that we understand the word problem. So what do we have here? We have a restaurant manager, and what he's doing is he's collecting data on the customers that are coming into his restaurant and that have to wait on their food, which I know we all can relate, because I know I've been to plenty of restaurants and plenty of fast food joints where you have to wait on your food. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate waiting on my food. So now that we understand the story, let's go ahead and mark our strategies. So you're going to have to bear with me because I'm using this tablet and pen and it's very new for me. So the writing is going to be a bit weird. I mean, if you thought Mr. Johnson's handwriting was bad before, wait until you see it now. So let's see. Boom, there we go. All right, let's get rid of that. And let's get our highlighter. So a restaurant manager collected data on the lengths of time customers waited for their food. He represents, or he shows, the data he collected in a dot plot. And the most important part of a question is what they're going to ask you at the end. And they're asking us, how many customers waited for 15 minutes for their food? So before we answer that, let's look at our dot plot. And anytime we're looking at a dot plot, we want to understand what our numbers and dots represent. And we're going to start with the numbers. So we look at our number line and we see that our number line goes from 14 all the way to 21. And it goes from 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we know our number line is counting by 1. So we always want to make sure we know how the number line is counting by, because you know how math is. They're always waiting to play a trick on you. The next thing we need to know is we need to know what these numbers represent. And the numbers 14 through 21 represents the time waited in minutes, and that means the unit of measurement is going to be minutes. I hope you haven't forgotten about units of measurement. In other words, 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, and so on. So if the numbers on a number line represents the minutes, then the dots represent the customers or people. And we are looking for how many customers waited for 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write the number of customers on top of each minutes. So for 14 minutes, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. So That's 4 customers that waited 14 minutes. For 15 minutes, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 customers for 15 minutes. For 16 minutes, we have 3. 17 is 2. 18 is 3. 19, 2. 20 is 1. 20 minutes. Oh, wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. 20 minutes? 20 minutes. Somebody waited for. Oh, I would be heated if I had to wait 20 minutes for some food. So we can see one person for 21 minutes. So to answer the question, there are blank dots above the 15 on the dot plot. So there are 5 dots above the 15 on the dot plot, which means there are 5 people that waited 15 minutes for their food. Question 2 says, how many people did the restaurant manager collect data about? So how many, let me get my highlighter. So how many people did the restaurant manager collect data about? So this dot plot is showing me all my data. So he is referring to all the people, which means I need to count up all my numbers. So we can actually use some mental math to add all of this up. So we know 3 and 3 is 6, 6 and 2 is 8, 8 and 2 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 4 is 19, and we have 20 and 21. So there are 21 people. Now, I know Mr. Johnson normally tells you to write it as a complete sentence, but you gotta bear with me, guys. Cut me some slack. Like, this thing is very hard to write with. And it just so happened that there's 21 people, and the maximum time is 21 minutes. But let's not confuse the two. We have 21 people in all, and we have 21 minutes as the maximum amount of minutes that he tracked or that he collected in his data. Moving on to question 3. How many people, let me get my highlighter, how many people waited 17 minutes or less? Let me highlight that. Let's use blue. 17 minutes or less. So they're using the word less, which means smaller. So 17 minutes or less means numbers that are 17 or less than 17. So 17 minutes, 16 minutes, 15 minutes, 14 minutes. So I'm referring to all customers that are in this range. And I can use my mental math again to add all this up. So 5 and 4 makes 9, 9 and 3 is 12, and 12 and 2 is 14. So there are 14 people that waited 17 minutes or less. So 14 waited.
Bruh.
Oh my God. Ooh, let me rewrite that. 14, we're going to just say 14 waited 17 minutes.
Bruh.
Oh, let's try that again. I am going to get this right. Watch. 14 waited 17 minutes or less. There we go. Question 4 says, how many more people waited 17 minutes or less than waited 19 minutes or more? Hold up. Wait a minute. This is a tricky question. First things first, they're using that phrase, how many more, which means that I'm going to be making a comparison. And I'm going to be comparing two numbers to see how the two numbers are different to get their difference, which means I'm going to be subtracting. And we are comparing the 17 minutes or less people with the 19 minutes or more. And we see that word Dan, that's one of our comparison words. So that's definitely letting me know that we're going to be comparing two things. So we have the 17 minutes or less people being compared to the 19 minutes or more. Let me get that. Let's do red or orange. Orange? Yeah, there we go. Orange. 19 minutes or more. So let's scroll up. So we know the 17 minutes or less people are right here. It's this range. And we already know that number for our last question. That number was 14 people waited 17 minutes or less. So now we're comparing them with the 19 minutes or more. So that's any number that's 19 or greater than 19. So I'm looking at the 19 minutes, 20 minutes, and 21 minutes people. Those poor people that have to wait all that time. Jeez. So from there, I see is 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4 people. And so we subtract 14 and 4. And 14 minus 4 is 10. So we will say 10 more people. Oh my god, hold up. I'm gonna get it. 2 more people waited. Oh, there we go. Waited 17 minutes or less. Oh, did it. Well, there you go. So those are questions 1 through 4 to help you guys on your assignment this week. Let me zoom out actually so you get a good shot of it. There we go. Alright, so there we go guys. As you can see, it's not really that hard to use a dot plot, but if you still need help, comment below, let me know, or message me on Class Dojo. I know the next few weeks are going to be a bit different for all of you. I miss you guys so much, but just bear with it for now. Hopefully in the next few weeks we can be in our class again. Like for real, I seriously miss our classroom. Plus, I think I left my GameCube controller somewhere in there. So stay safe, wash your hands, and keep those math skills sharp. Until next time, guys.